For the past few months, I've just been really exhausted and burnt out from dealing with my kids. I am an autism mom. Both of my kids are autistic, and they have been driving me insane. Like, I was on the verge of tears a couple of weeks ago because I was just so ready to give up with just everything. It was very chaotic in the house. I was trying to clean up, I was trying to keep up with everything, and everything would get destroyed right after cleaning up. I'd put them in their room sometimes, and that wouldn't even work because my son has a thing with like destroying toys, destroying things that aren't toys, just destroying everything. And it's like, the more I tried to clean up, the more I tried to fix things, the more I tried to get ahead and not have to like struggle and worry about these things anymore, it was like they were landing on me like 2 times harder. I would clean up one room and they would go in that same room I cleaned up after I left out of that room and would destroy it while I'm cleaning up another room. So by the time I would get out of the room that I cleaned up second, the other room that I did clean up is already messed up again. Now, that's been a big struggle for me for the past few months, but pretty much this whole year, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, it's been rough this whole year. And the biggest reason for that problem, I'd say, is me. I was too lenient on my kids. I held them up to a certain standard of them being their age and knowing things that they should and shouldn't do. So just trying to give them that freedom, not wanting them to feel stuck in one place, like in their room or in the living room. I mean, it's our house, so they're free enough to roam, but that was the wrong idea. That was the wrong thing to do because they were just destroying everything. They were fighting all the time. Like I said, Alex was breaking stuff. I had to go in Adrian's room yesterday and fix the dresser drawer that he had messed up, and it was bad. Like, I don't even know where one of the dresser thingies are. But that's besides the point. The biggest issue and the biggest cause for them being so chaotic and destructive and me on the verge of a breakdown is my own fault. And ultimately, I suffered from that more than they did. And when I suffer from things, then it affects them because I'm not in the right headspace. Then I'm angry all the time, and then like I'm fussing or whatever all the time. And I didn't want to be that way, so I had to sit and think of what I could do, I guess, to fix the chaos, correct what I was doing wrong. And the thing that has been helping me is routine, structure, and more discipline. Now, when I say more discipline, I don't mean like whooping your kids. I don't mean that. But I do mean not letting them get away with a lot of stuff that they're used to getting away with. With autistic kids, we can sometimes be very lenient with them, sometimes too lenient with them, and they know what they can get away with. Or at least my kids anyway, they know what they can get away with. And I notice that they don't take me serious sometimes when I'm telling them stuff. And that was a lot of the problem too, like, because I'm trying to tell them to stop doing stuff for their own safety or whatever, and they're going around doing it again anyway, and it's just like, then they come to me running and stuff like that. So I had to learn how to be more strict and have more discipline with my kids. Like, stop running. They have been fighting with each other, yelling and screaming and all of this other stuff, and it's really exhausting, especially when you're already struggling with trying to keep up with stuff, trying to clean, trying to make sure everything in the house is tidy and that the space that you're in is comfortable and peaceful and not junky. So along with the fighting and the yelling and screaming and stuff, it was just a lot. And not only that, but school is getting ready to start up too. And I didn't want them going to school with these same behaviors, knowing that that's not going to be accepted in school. And not only that, but they're old enough to get out of certain things too. They're old enough to be out of certain things too. They both have a problem with like yelling and screaming. Adrian's problem is screaming. Whenever he doesn't get his way, he's screaming, he's yelling, you know, running and slamming doors. And normally I would just ignore it because like I would think that maybe he would just get out of it. Maybe he would realize like the screaming and the yelling isn't going to get him what he's wanting. Well, you would think that he would realize that, but it's not working at all. So I've tried taking the tablet. I've tried timeout. And that's what I'm still working on right now. But I still need to be a little bit more consistent with being strict about what is okay and what's not okay. Timeout is one thing, but you have to also explain to him too. And that's what I've been trying to do along with timeout. A part of discipline is also communicating and getting them to understand what they're doing is not okay. So right now I'm working on like the timeout, no tablet, and discussing the issue and, you know, why certain outcomes happen. So that's one way I'm trying to instill more like discipline and structure. But with Alex, he has a yelling and running and clapping problem. And once again, I thought that with time that would get better, like he would just eventually stop, but no, it's like getting worse. And I don't know how he can keep up with clapping and running and yelling all day as much as he does. Like I tried to clap as much as he did, and my hands was hurting about after like the fourth clap because that was but with him too, I've been making him like go sit down. Sometimes I make him put his hands in his pockets. I don't really want to put him in timeout for that because it's not like he's doing anything like necessarily bad or wrong, but at the same time he doesn't need to be doing that. So I'll make him sit down and, you know, just calm down for a bit. And I've also tried getting him to go in the sunroom and clap his heart away. Now when I tell him to do it, he hates when I tell him to do it. I think that from now on, when he starts clapping, when he's not listening to me telling him to stop clapping, I'm going to make him go in that room and just clap until his arms and hands get tired. Because apparently it's something different when I tell him to go do it compared to when I tell him to stop doing it. So yeah, that's another form of discipline and structure that I'm adding along with it. And not only that, but I'm making sure I'm supervising them. This past week, I've been making them sit in the living room when they're up. If they're not outside playing, we're in the living room and they're supervised. I'm watching them, making sure they're not doing certain things, keeping them entertained when they are in the house besides playing with a tablet. I'll like let them draw, let them color. We'll watch like movies together and stuff like that. But notice a huge change though with this week compared to the past few months and how everything's been going on. With me having more structure, more discipline, and being more strict, I feel like I'm more at peace. And not only that, but the house is clean. They're not messing up stuff. They're not breaking stuff they're not supposed to. They're not fighting each other. And I'm so much more calm. So that's not only a good thing for me, but it's also a great thing for them as well, because when I'm happy, everybody's happy. Like, I'm the one doing everything. I'm the one who has to make sure things are in order. So it helps when you're in a good attitude, you have a positive attitude, and you can do things with more of a positive attitude. So if you are currently struggling with your kids being destructive, just doing things that they're not supposed to do, I would highly suggest looking into your routine, what kind of routine you got, what kind of schedule you have them on, and ways that you're disciplining them. This has been helping me a lot, and I'm just gonna keep learning as I go. But I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing so far. Like, my living room for the most part is clean. I'm gonna just try to keep it up and update you guys on what's going on with that. But until next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye.